Hello everybody, my name is Red the Savior, and today I will be talking about the similarities of Elder Scrolls Online and Guild Wars 2. So, if you're planning to change MMOs and you're playing Elder Scrolls Online, then Guild Wars 2 will be a good game to transfer to and vice versa, because they have a lot of similarities. And when I say vice versa, I mean if you're playing Guild Wars 2 and you've already finished playing Guild Wars 2, then transferring to Elder Scrolls Online would not be a hard transition because they have a lot of similarities. By the way, I am an Elder Scrolls Online player with more than 3,000 hours, and I have 12 level 50 characters, and I am currently at CP 1900 plus, and I will be transferring to Guild Wars 2 because I have already quote unquote finished Elder Scrolls Online. Finishing the game have a lot of meaning, but that is not the topic of this video, so let's just get started with the similarities, shall we? Open world. Both games have a huge open world. I mean, larger than my dick, which is not saying much, but trust me, if you just zoom in a little bit, it looks way bigger than what it actually looks like. Pay to play. Well, they have nothing in similar here because, well, Guild Wars 2's core game is free to play, while Elder Scrolls Online base game is buy to play, which is actually very cheap. So just buy it. Alright, buy it on sale. Don't buy it at full price. Buy it on sale, alright? Low system requirements. Both of these games run on a potato PC. For a comparison, just look at my PC. I am running an i5 750, which is a first gen processor, and Guild Wars 2 only crushed once. And the loading time is not that bad without an SSD. Roughly 20 seconds, while Elder Scrolls Online loads probably a minute, and the textures are invisible at the first 3 minutes of loading. Premium currency store. Both games have premium currencies, which is actually pretty normal for MMO these days, where they both sell convenience items and slight boosts and skins. A lot of expensive skins. ESO uses the premium currency called crowns, while Guild Wars 2 uses gems. Guild Wars 2 does the premium currency exchange better because they remove the middleman. So there is no way you'll get scammed when exchanging gold to gems. While in ESO, there is a middleman in buying premium items, so there is a chance that you'll get scammed, and Bethesda support sucks, and there is also trust involved. So yeah, let's just say that Guild Wars 2 has better currency exchange. But yeah, both of them have premium stores. Expansions slash DLC. Guild Wars 2 have 3 expansions and 5 mini DLCs called Living World, and there was also a rumor, or I'm not really sure if this is sure, but there's a rumor that there is another upcoming expansion again. While Elder Scrolls Online have 5 major expansions and 20 mini DLCs, which are a mishmash of just dungeon DLCs and explorable world DLC. I mean, explorable open world DLC. Mega servers. Both game uses a mega server. The only thing that would matter is what region you choose. Oh, and in Guild Wars 2, you choose a server, but it will only matter on world versus world PvP, which is the which is like Cyrodiil in Elder Scrolls Online. Race. Both games have different choices of race. In Guild Wars 2, race doesn't affect your stats. It would only affect your storyline. Well, your personal storyline. While in ESO, it would affect your starting location and your stats. For example, if you are a red guard, you are better at being a stamina character. But I think they actually changed that, but I'm not really sure. So, yeah. Classes. ESO have 6 different classes, while Guild Wars 2 have 9 classes with 3 different subtypes each. But in Elder Scrolls Online, it is a sandbox kind of MMO, so you can be whoever you want to be. You could be a mage carrying a sword if you want. So yeah. Mounts. Both games have mounts, but Guild Wars 2 doesn't have a mount at launch. ESO have different kinds of mounts, but they all just run on the ground. So they're basically just horses, or horses with different skins. Sometimes they could be lions or something. Guild Wars 2 have 6 types of mount that can fly, that can hover in water, and could run on the ground like a horse. Extra leveling. Elder Scrolls Online have champion points, which has a 3,200 cap for now, I think. I'm not really sure about that. Don't quote me on that. But back when I was still playing, the CP cap is 3,200. And it will add buffs to your character, and it is account wide. While in Guild Wars 2, they have this thing called Master Points, which adds buff to you and your mounts, and is also account wide. Weapons. Weapons, they both have a huge arsenal of weapons. ESO, ESO is strictly just medieval weapons and magic and stuff. While Guild Wars 2 have medieval weapons, magic and stuff, and they also have guns. Guns like a rifle and pistol. World events. World events. ESO have world events which are not really world events because you can solo them sometimes. This includes closing portal and killing the bosses, but these are not dynamic events. While in Guild Wars 2, world events is where sometimes huge bosses, and when I say huge, I mean, well, compared to Elder Scrolls Online, when I say huge in Elder Scrolls Online, you are probably uh, your height compared to that huge thing is you are at least up their stomach. While in Guild Wars 2, when I say huge, I mean you look like an ant compared to them. So yeah, uh, the world events in Guild Wars 2 have huge bosses spawn at a specific time, and people all around the map come together to defeat it. And there's no way you can solo these bosses. There are some also random events that pop up sometimes, and this gives you some rewards. Legendary weapons. Elder Scrolls Online doesn't have legendary weapons, but it has these things called perfected gear, which is the equivalent of legendary gear in Guild Wars 2. Endgame gear. The endgame gear in Guild Wars 2 can come from a lot of things like PvP, open world PvP, raids, fractal dungeons, and you can even craft it if you want. In Elder Scrolls Online, you can only get perfected gear on veteran dungeons. Well, actually, you can't get perfected gear there. You can only get perfected gear on veteran trials and veteran arenas. And trial is basically a raid. They just changed the name. So, by the way, I am talking about the best in slot gear because in Elder Scrolls Online, you can wear whatever you want and be competitive. But that is not the perfected gear. I mean, you can craft gear in Elder Scrolls Online and do a lot of damage in raids, or I mean in trials, but they are not perfected gear. But they are meta gear, but they are not perfected gear. Combat and controls. Elder Scrolls Online have an action combat control, while in Guild Wars 2 they have a tab targeting on default, but it does have an option to change to action combat control. Crafting. Both games have crafting disciplines, but in Guild Wars 2, you can only have 2 crafting disciplines active in one time, but you can max all of them. But you can only have 2 active at a time. In Elder Scrolls, you can be a master crafter in all of them, all at the same time. Dungeons. Both games have dungeons. In Elder Scrolls Online, you can only get a monster headgear on veteran dungeons, which is what is needed on most endgame content, and it is a BIS or best in slot, the monster headgear set, and it is a 100% drop rate, but you're gonna have to rely on the RNG for its type or stats. Well, when on the type, I mean if it's light, medium, or heavy. Then for the stats, if it's reinforced or the divines is the best trait that you could get and stuff. So yeah, while in Guild Wars 2 you can get endgame gear only on fractal dungeons, Wait, what? In Guild Wars 2, you can get endgame gear on fractal dungeons only. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay. In Guild Wars 2, you can only get the endgame gear on fractal dungeons. You will never get anything ascended on dungeons. I repeat, this is only for dungeons. You can get anything on you can get ascended gear on dungeons, but you can get ascended gear on fractal dungeons because uh, Guild Wars 2 have two kinds of dungeons. And there is also RNG involved. So unlike in Elder Scrolls Online, where there is a 100% drop chance, here it is RNG. There is a small chance that you would get an ascended drop. And in my, I think 300 hours or maybe 500 hours of playing Guild Wars 2, I've never gotten an ascended armor or weapons, but I did have ascended rings, which is, yeah. Events. Just like all MMOs, both games have events for Christmas, anniversaries, April Fools, Valentine's Day, and etc. Trials. Both games have trials slash raids. In Elder Scrolls Online, you can get your perfected gears only in trials, while in Guild Wars 2, you can get your endgame gear without playing a single raid. And this is just my opinion, by the way. Guild Wars 2 players kind of what's the proper term? They are barricading the raids. Like they have strict requirements. Like sometimes you need high. You need to be playing for a long time already for them to accept you. So yeah, I mean, if you play Guild Wars 2, you know what I mean. But yeah, they are gatekeeping. Yeah, in Guild Wars 2, people gatekeeps raids, while in Elder Scrolls Online, you can do any raids. Well, actually, normal raids if you are at a gear cap already. So, but yeah, instance PvP. Ah, yes, PvP, the root of all evil in MMORPGs. Both games have a toxic player base, but of course, there are still kind players in PvP. Have I already told you about the story about Hannah, the girl that I met on PvP Battlegrounds in Elder Scrolls Online? Yeah, I keep telling that story a lot because it's the only thing that because it's one of the best things that happened to me in Elder Scrolls Online. Anyways, both games have multiple game modes. Guild Wars 2 have 2v2, 3v3, 5v5, capture the point, and some MOBA team deathmatch hybrid. While in Elder Scrolls Online, they have 3v3 with different types like capture the point, chaos ball, which is capture the flag, but the flag damages you and the damage increases over time, an actual capture the flag, and team deathmatch. Oh yeah, and they also Guild Wars 2 also have tournaments every 2 hours, I think. Elder Scrolls Online don't have that. Open world PvP. Elder Scrolls Online have Cyrodiil, where 3 factions fight each other. Guild Wars 2 have World versus World, where 3 teams fight each other. Yeah, it's the same thing, just no faction in Guild Wars 2. Player home. Both games have player housing slash instances that they can decorate. But in Guild Wars 2, you can put in nodes that you can mine every day. For example, you can put rubidite ore. Yeah, I mean rubidite. Yeah, rubidite ore. Is that what you call it in Elder Scrolls Online? But yeah, you can get you can get mining stuff. Like you can mine rubidite ore, ruby ash wood in your home instances in Guild Wars 2. So yeah, those are the similarities of Guild Wars 2 and Elder Scrolls Online. I hope you will consider playing Elder Scrolls or Guild Wars 2 if ever you have finished playing Guild Wars 2 or Elder Scrolls Online. So yeah, thanks for watching. See ya later. Oh, and please, I'm begging you, please like and subscribe so that I could get so that I could feel appreciated at least.